Red Shed Players present Walked on Water, a play by Peter Hirst from a book by David Hinchliff.
David Hinchliff, you couldn't find your way. A flood tide of mass revolt, revolution was on its way. Paris, France and Mexico, in China and Pakistan, there was fighting in the streets, revolution was on its way. But that's all very well, be that as it may. There were bigger things happening in your world. There was a rugby match to play, and it scarred you and it broke you, the very fact that match was played. The penalty try and the cheating ref, and it's with you to this day. And you can't move on, the tragedy, it haunts you every day. You're searching for the truth, and somebody's got to pay. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty twin. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty twin.
Did you know that the word fan is short for fanatic, a person driven by an extreme, unreasoning enthusiasm? The character I play, Dave Hinchliff, is a Wakefield Trinity fan. He hears voices in his head, voices that remind him of every injustice his team has ever been subject to across the years, and there have been plenty.
In the 60s, Trinity were a top team and Wakefield was a different place. Mills, pits and engineering provided jobs, and the success of Wakefield Trinity gave it glory. That year they'd already won the championship. Now all they had to do was to defeat Leeds to secure the double.
The music was great, the fashions were great. What could be better than a trip to Wembley with me pals?
David was 17 when he went to Wembley for the first time. He went on to be a social worker and later a Labour MP for Wakefield. For a lad who failed his 11 plus, he did a lot, but he could never forget that cup final.
Oh, it was clear in my mind what happened. The game shouldn't have been played. The ref cheated us. Tragedy and death ensued.
In 2013, David wrote a book to prove to the world that a great injustice had been done. To put the book together, he asked people what they remembered. He met the players, he met the fans, he met the referee's family. He opened a box of memories unopened for nearly 50 years. Can we be sure of our memories after such a long time?
You said there is no reason, and the truth is plain to see. But I wander through my playing cards.
But the truth was plain to see. This song, it was a big one for us back in 1968. But what the bloody hell it means, I've still got no idea.
No idea about the song or 1968?
Either. Both.
Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Trin.
Hello and good afternoon and welcome. Wakefield Trinity became the 1968 Rugby League champions by beating Hull Kingston Rovers on May the 4th at Headingley Stadium in front of a crowd of 22,023 people. The score was Wakefield Trinity 17, Hull Kingston Rovers 10. Last season, the boys from Wakey had also won the champions title by beating St Helens. On the way to the 1968 Cup final, they had dispatched Barrow, Salford, Castleford and Huddersfield.
As a little lad, Trinity was my first thought on waking and my last thought before I went to sleep. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Give us this day our daily bread, and may you forgive our sins as we forgive others. Forgive maybe, forget never. God bless Mum and Dad, and may I grow up to play rugby as well as Don Fox. Oh, and may Wakefield win on Saturday.
Come on without, come on within, you'll not see nothing like the mighty Trin.
Time passed and I grew up. I went on to train to be a social worker in Leeds, but I never grew out of my obsession with Trinity.
Settle down now everyone, this is Lecture 2, the historical context of the development of social work in the UK. As you should know from your reading, 1968 was a tumultuous year when the flood tide of mass revolt swept over the narrow confines of capitalism, threatening the very foundations of the system. In France, 10 million workers occupied their factories in a month of revolution. Alongside the revolutionary events in Paris and the rest of the cities in France, we also witnessed a mass movement in Mexico, which was to be drowned in blood. In Indonesia, Pakistan and China, workers and peasants revolted. Countries were convulsed with waves of opposition reaching almost every corner of society.
That's all very well. But what 1968 means to me is the Watersplash Final, Leeds versus Wakefield Trinity. It was a game that lives in infamy. It shouldn't have been played and Wakefield were robbed. And yet everyone remembers Don Fox missing that goal.
Mr. Hinchliff, this is a serious university course, not an opportunity to exercise your sporting demons. There were mass uprisings in Paris, led by students and joined by trade unionists. They challenged the dominant ideological and economic narrative.
Leeds were given an obstruction try, really late on in the game, or they would not have even been in the match. The referee cheated us. I'm sorry, but I can't help it. It's with me all the time.
Mr. Hinchliff, you're training to be a social worker, not an investigating sports reporter.
We need social workers because the world is an unjust place. A place where people are arbitrarily punished because they're in the wrong class, belong to a minority, or because they follow Wakefield Trinity.
There were uprisings across the globe. There were bigger things happening in the world than your match.
Bigger things? To the BBC? Show the students marching in Paris every year? No. With respect, this matter is worthy of discussion because it's about ordinary injustices and what we can do about them. It's about what they do to us.
What do you mean?
Look, by exclusively looking at the big things, we miss the significance of the smaller things. Don Fox died a broken man. Both the referee and his wife committed suicide. Even Eddie Waring, the commentator, died in a mental hospital.
The poor lad.
I still can't sleep because of it.
I think we need to move on.
I can't just move on. It scarred me. One day, I'll find the truth. And I will tell the world the truth.
Come on without, come on within, you'll not see nothing like the mighty Trin.
It is often said that Don Fox never recovered from the game. But being a rugby player wasn't all it was. He had a life outside and after the game. He'd worked in the pit and he regretted taking redundancy. Like most of us, he was known to have felt down at times.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. McCutcheon. How can I help you, Mr. Fox?
Well, Doctor, since I retired from pit, I've not really been able to enjoy myself. I feel all alike. I'd worked there a long time, and I retired because they were laying folk off. And I thought a young lad could have a job rather than me. I thought I'd enjoy some time in garden. But I don't seem to be able to settle into anything.
And are you the famous rugby player, Don Fox?
Yeah, that's me.
Lots of players and performers suffer from problems after they retire. It might be to do with them being taken out of the spotlight. Or do you think it might be connected with any traumatic incident when you were a player?
What kind of thing do you mean?
Well, I keep seeing grandstand, and you tell me. Was there anything that stood out in your career that might have made you feel down?
There were lots I was proud of. I won the Lantods Trophy, but I don't think it had anything to do with rugby.
You might not think so, but sportsmen can suffer, especially one who had such a high profile, somebody who did what you did.
I've always had blue mood, you know, ever since I was young. Work gave me a bit of shape, a pattern.
Many Wakefield Trinity fans blame the referee for their defeat in 1968. He is accused of all manner of character failings. But what do we actually know about Mr Hebblethwaite?
We know he was a bloody cheat.
We don't know anything of the kind. Think of him a bit more as a man with a wife and family. Here he is now in his house, and here's his wife.
I did my best. I did my best, but it wasn't good enough.
What's that?
Oh, nothing, love. I was just thinking about that last match. I think I made a wrong decision, you know, and it did change course of the game.
Oh, right. Was it an important match?
It were an amateur match, but they're all important. And besides, I like to get things right.
Are you ready for your tea?
Oh, hey, I can be. What have we got?
Salmon.
Salmon. Great.
I got it special. Thought it'd be good for you, you know. Replace some of that energy. And it were on special at Co-op. I know how you like it. Poured you a cup of tea.
Oh, right. Thanks, love. I am sick of tinned bloody salmon.
Morning, Mrs Hebblethwaite. Morning, Mary. It's nice weather. Aye, it's due to rain later. What can I get you? I want something for Saturday tea. Ooh, we've got some potted beef. What about Hazlitt? He likes a bit of Hazlitt. Have you got any of that pressed tongue? No, sorry, we're all out of tongue, love. Potted beef's good, though. Ye won't eat potted beef, and I can't look at Hazlitt. Fair turns me stomach. I think I'll have it in a pink salmon. Pink salmon? I thought he didn't like pink salmon. He doesn't. Oh. How is His Majesty anyway? Oh, he's out reffing. Oh, it's first round at Cup, isn't it? York, Acorn and Millham? I don't know. Can't say I'm bothered.
It gets him out on a Saturday, that's all I know.
Ooh, I used to love it, me, when our George played rugby. All them big, hard, sweaty men running up and down that pitch, banging into one another. Wonder who gets to give him a rub down when they've done. Still, it's not the same when your man's just reffing and he's not playing like, is it?
Just reffing? Don't let him hear you say that, he'd go bonkers. You can't have a game without a referee. How many times have I heard him say that?
Ah, well, it wouldn't do if we were all the same, would it? Good day, Mrs. Ebblethwaite.
The journey to Wembley was rich in memories. When I got home from school on Friday, I was sent straight to bed early. And we set off for London at about 11:30 at night. My mum had never been down to London before and she kept up a commentary all the way down.
I'm right looking forward to this trip to London, you know.
Just try and get some sleep. I'll wake you up when we get to outskirts.
I wouldn't miss this trip for the world.
Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Trin.
Swinging London draws people from all over the world, and on Rugby League Cup final day it brings an invasion from the north, with many gaping with wonder at the sights and sophistication of the hip and happening capital they've heard so much about. Leicester Square, Carnaby Street and London Bridge, quite different from their grim northern towns.
By about 7:30, I think we'd seen all the sights. We'd seen it all, even Buckingham Palace. So we went back to Trafalgar Square and into Lions Corner House, and we all had a coffee. Ian Taylor, he'd taken his toothbrush with him, and he went down a little stairways to some toilets, and he was brushing away, but he hadn't taken any toothpaste.
Dickhead. Determined to make the best of their time away from home, these northerners are enthusiastic about seeing all the sights.
We knew that there were some pubs in area around Covent Garden Market that were open right from crack of dawn, so we were trying to get in, weren't we? But they kept stopping us and asking us what market we were from, so could we always get a pint?
Yeah, which market do you work on then, mate?
Market? Wakey Market. We're here to pick up some...
aubergines!
Aye, aubergines, to keep us trousers dry.
Ah, sling her up, you northern monkey.
The famous underground system, a novelty to these men of the north, allowed them to enjoy the facilities in London's famous parks.
We took the train tube to Hyde Park and went down to the lake. Seeing all those rowing boats in the water and unattended was too much temptation. Come on, lads, we'll show them Oxbridgers how it's done. Hold it steady, move smoothly.
Hey, look out, you'll have us over!
Bloody hell, my shoes are sopping.
Stop moaning and sit down. I don't want to get soaked.
Get over then, come on, all together, and... stroke!
It's alright, this.
Look over yon, there's some Leeds lads. Ah, you line of scum.
Ah, shaky wakey, look at them. You can't keep both steady. That's why they call them shaky wakey.
Come on lads, let's ram them.
Ram us? They can't even catch us.
Oi, what are you doing out there? Lake's not even open yet.
Bloody hell, it's the park here. Roll, lads.
Row? Row, bloody, where are we going round in circles?
I'll have bobbies on you all. Come back here, come back here.
Row to the other side, your lot goes over there.
Of course, all the sightseeing gives a chap a thirst, and what better way to quench it than in a traditional British pub?
Well, we made it to Downing Street and were relieved when it was first time to start another pub crawl. The first pub we dropped into were Wild West themed.
Howdy, partners. Fancy a shot of red eye?
Have you got any tellies?
I ain't never heard of that down here, greenhorn. You want to have yourself a man's drink, a double diamond.
Double diamond works wonders, works wonders, works wonders. Double diamond works wonders, so drink some today.
Look at that. Flat, warm, 3 bob a pint. No wonder they're dressed for Wild West. It's run by bloody cowboys.
Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Trin.
If the trip to London was an annual beano for some fans, it was a career highlight for Mr. Hebblethwaite.
Winnie? Winnie? You know that letter that came earlier?
Yeah?
You'll never guess what it was.
What?
It's from Rugby League. I've been selected to officiate at Wembley.
Oh, I suppose you'll be away for weekend then.
Oh, certainly from Friday. Need to be there first thing on Saturday morning. Have to be there for all preparations, you know.
Well, what about work?
Well, I'll just have to take day off, won't I? It'll be a big thing for the company. They want to get some publicity out of it.
Well, they pay you. Instalments on Cooker won't pay themselves.
Is there something wrong?
What do you mean?
Well, you don't sound happy.
Happy about what?
About me getting picked for Wembley. It's a great honour. I thought you'd be pleased.
I am pleased, well done.
You don't sound pleased.
Well, I am, well done. What do you want? A round of applause? It's not like you're playing yourself.
The game cannot be
Played without a referee, I know, you told me. But the bills won't get paid without a wage either. And you'll have to take day off.
So, I get paid for it.
How much?
£10 plus expenses.
That's not bad for running around for 80 minutes blowing a whistle.
Well, more than most folk get for a week's work.
It's not as much as them gorillas get for playing like a bunch of bloody kids. But it'll pay for Cooker.
Well, actually, it won't really. We had the choice, you see. It was £10 or a Blazer badge. And I thought I'd take the badge.
You what? You must be kidding, aren't you? You're doing all this for a bloody Blazer badge.
Well, it's a great honour. It's Challenge Cup Final. I'll be on television. Meet royalty.
I bet they're getting more than £10. You're a bloody fool.
Why can't you just be happy for me?
Because you're a fool. Do you think anyone else will be working for the Blazer badge? All other players will be on bonuses, and they get to take the wives down with them and stop in swanky hotels. But you never ask me if I want to come.
Well, do you want to come? I didn't think you'd be interested.
I don't want to go. I don't want all that attention, unlike some. I don't want to fuss. I don't need to be seen. I don't want a load of people pointing and shouting at me. I just want to get on with my life.
Oh, you can never be happy for me, can you? I thought you'd be pleased. Proud.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I should be happy for you. I'll try and be happy for you. I do hope it all goes well. I really do wish you all the best. I hope it makes you happy.
Oh, what's wrong with us?
There's nothing wrong with us, it's just me. I just feel down.
Down?
You know, sad.
Look, I know. I won't take the badge. It's not as if I need another, is it? I'll take the £10. We'll use it to go away for a weekend. We'll go to Scarborough. We'll stay at that B&B near to Spa, the one that you like.
No, you must take the badge. It's what we want to complete that collection of yours. It's unique. You must take it. I'll be all right, don't worry, love. I'm just being silly.
Do you think you need to go and see that doctor again?
I must have nodded off in the car and woke up just as the sun was rising over London. It seems that my mum had kept up a commentary all the way. I caught my dad's eye in the rearview mirror and it was clear that he'd been throwing her a deafen for many a mile. His long-suffering look suggested that I might help him out.
Look at these houses, they look just the same as they do on Doncaster Road. Look at that fella there, he don't look any different to the fellas in Wakey.
Of course they look the same, ma'am, they are the same. They're just houses and people.
Well, it's not what you expect, is it? From what you see in the newspapers and magazines and that.
Well, what did you expect?
Well, I expected it to be, richer. Look at that woman there. She's got the same coat on as your auntie. She got it in British Home Stores.
Bloody hell, mother.
Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Trin.
And finally, for all you sports fans, let's look at the weather forecast. Over to Marjorie Pickles Forbes Watkinson.
Good morning. This is the Air Ministry weather forecast from Q today, Saturday, May the 11th, 1968. It will be fine early this morning, becoming mainly cloudy with sunny intervals as the day goes on. Frequent showers can be expected in the afternoon with thunder at times. Overall, it'll be rather cool with winds light to moderate.
The record of significant rainfall for May 1968 contains no mention of the day of the final. So it appears that the meteorologists were also conspiring against Wakefield Trinity.
Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Trin.
Wembley, here we come, is the password of the week as the giant Wembley Stadium hosts this week's Rugby League Cup Final. This year, contested by Leeds and Wakefield. Two cities naught but a fourpenny bus ride apart. To run smoothly for our northern visitors, many wise men must put in many hours of careful planning behind the scenes.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I think we're all here except for the referee, Mr. Holtwhistle. Still, the sooner we start, the sooner we finish. I suggest that we open with introductions. I'm Mr. Knightley, overall in charge of Empire Wembley Stadium.
Sir Ponsonby Smythe. I'm Palace Event Secretary. With the Duke doing the honours, I'm here to ensure the events pass off smoothly.
Carter Brown here, BBC. Obviously charged with ensuring that we get a good afternoon's entertainment for our friends in the north.
First off, here's the weather forecast for Saturday. It's pretty good. Sunshine and showers, nothing to worry about.
Well, that's good. Should get some good pictures. We have our cameras here already from the Horse of the Year show, and that's ran like clockwork. We were impressed at how well the turf stood up to all those horses galloping around on it. Will you pass on our thanks to the staff, Mr. Knight?
Oh, awfully kind, thanks. We've got a good staff here, and we can confidently say we can cope with whatever is thrown at us.
That all sounds top hole. I've checked the details for the Duke, and everything seems to be in order regarding the royal box. The only thing is, the Duke is very keen to have this version of rugby union explained to him. It is very important that he isn't embarrassed.
I think you'll find the main difference is the accents and the schools the players went to. Very non-us, if you see what I mean.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, am I late? I thought we were starting at p:30.
Ah, you must be the referee. Holtwhistle, is it?
Hebblethwaite, actually.
No, sorry, Holtwhistle. No, you're not late. In fact, we started early. No point hanging about. In fact, we've nearly finished.
What? Nearly finished? But the
Nearly finished. No point hanging about now, is there?
Hope all goes well, chaps. See you on Saturday.
Yes, thanks for your contributions.
Sorry, I really must insist. The referee is the key person regarding any game.
Come on now, Holtwhistle. There really is nothing to discuss. I do understand that it's a big game for you and you want to contribute, but everything is under control.
Yes, let's not waste time.
Oh, listen, I must insist. I am referee Hebblethwaite, and it is my responsibility to make sure we have looked at all the angles so as to make sure that this game runs smoothly. Now, can we start by looking at the weather forecast?
The weather forecast is fine.
The pitch is fine.
Everything is in order, but the guest of honour...
Are you satisfied now? Can we get about our business?
I would like to look at the pitch, if I may.
Oh, please do. Make yourself happy. I'm sure I can arrange for one of the ground staff to take care of you. Now, gentlemen, will you join me at the Connaught? My treat for lunch.
Very generous.
Very generous, I think.
Look, I'll only be a few minutes.
Sorry, Holtwhistle, old boy. No time. See you tomorrow.
The game made all the papers.
Evening Post, beans on toast. I've had a terrible day.
Late night final, get your green in here.
At one point there was so much water on the pitch that it was more suitable for some aquatic sport than football. The Guardian.
The match was played in conditions more suitable for water polo. The Telegraph.
The Great Wembley Water Show. Look at the picture of the player surfing. The Morning Star.
The Express. The drains could not cope with the pre-match downpour, and before kick-off there were 20 men on the pitch with forks trying to release the huge pools of water. They failed. The sodden spongy surface became like miniature lakes as the rain came down like stair rods before half-time.
No final at Wembley has ever been played under such atrocious conditions. The Telegraph.
This was a dramatic final that should not have been played. Had there been any pushing down on the heads of tackled players as so often seen in games, someone would surely have been drowned. Huddersfield Examiner.
It was the worst game ever played, but the most memorable.
Did you hear about Don Fox, the man that missed the goal at the end of the Watersplash Final? He was so depressed after the game, he bought a gun, loaded it, put it to his temple and fired. And he missed!
That ain't funny. Don Fox were never the same after that day. He were man of the match, and he was never allowed to forget that kick. He died a broken man.
He missed though, didn't he? He lost the match, and Wakefield have never won anything since.
The poor lad.
He died in a mental hospital. So did Don. So did referee.
All three.
All three men died broken. The star man, the voice of rugby league, and the referee. They all died broken men.
So, it's not so much a game of rugby league as a Shakespearean tragedy.
And Wakefield, the dominant team for years, and that year's championship winners, they never won anything again.
Yeah, they went from a team of conquering heroes to perennial losers, trapped in a sporting hell, reliving that bitter moment of defeat year after year, decade after decade.
Bleak. Years of bleak emptiness. Anyone who could remember the 68 final will know what that means.
What does it mean?
It means a man fulfilling his dream in front of 87,000 people. People who've travelled for days to see you win the match, then lose it.
In London, at the Empire Stadium, in front of royalty, in suits and ties. In suits and ties on the Wembley pitch against your local rivals, Leeds. A team with money to spare, money to burn, well-matched teams who like to play rugby open, hard and fast.
A biblical storm, the water standing deep, a tide, a high tide of achievement.
A referee with nothing to gain, £10 or a blazer badge. He has to decide, can this match go ahead? Is it fit? The water comes over the Duke's shoes. They've got to go and get him a spare pair. The Coldstream guards, they can't even see where they're going. The hats have got that soaked and heavy. They fall over their eyes.
They fall over their eyes so they can't see. These symbols of military excellence, these symbols of empire, reduced to a comedy sketch.
But Wakefield break through with the line open. They must score, but the referee's he's pulled him back. But the line was open. They would have scored. He pulls them back, and he gives them a penalty. They would have scored.
Mistake after mistake, scrum after scrum. The water's so deep, the players, they're slipping and sliding. And then the referee gives Leeds a penalty try. A penalty try? People can't believe it. A penalty try? They're never given. Surely not, ref. Surely not.
Without that penalty try, Leeds wouldn't have been in the game. Was it a mistake? Or was that referee bent? We all knew the answer. If Wakefield had won, they would have won the double, and the players would have won £300. That were enough for a house or a car.
Yeah, but what did he care? He was on £10 or a blazer badge. So why did he do it? Now Leeds, they'd bought a team and they bought a ref.
Wakefield protested on the pitch, on that swimming pool of a pitch with the water splashing up and the blood pounding in their ears and everything drenched through, so wet that the play shorts were not even dirty at the end.
The pitch was saturated before kick-off, and then it cleared. Another downpour at half-time. Those in the most expensive seats, they were out in the open. The rich were soaked. Harold Wilson could squeeze them until the pip squeaked and dried the suits off at the same time.
Do you know what you did, Mr. Hebblethwaite, playing God on that Saturday afternoon?
Don doesn't score the try, but he makes it. He is the architect. The moment is poetry. What can create the excitement, engagement and unpredictability of sport? Fortunes. They turn on a moment, and here it was. The agony and the ecstasy.
It was my boyhood dream to make the winning try in the last minute of a Wembley final. To be the man of the match in a cup final against Leeds. Every right-thinking sports fan dreams of this. From Charleston to London, Wakefield to the world.
The whole world is watching. The whole world is holding its breath. You are kicking the goals down, playing prop on a waterlogged pitch, won man of the match, and having made the crucial scar, had to convert from in front of the post to win the game.
Don, you looked into the eye of the storm. Then like Moses, You parted the waves with that last kick-off that sent Leeds the wrong way and meant that Hirst scored a try beneath the post. You beat the referee. You beat those baying loiners. You didn't shirk. Boots, padded with cotton wool. You placed the ball on a surface of water. You tried to form a mound of water. No kicking tee, no sand. Nobody ran on to towel the ball dry, no. You tried to wipe the moisture off with your shirt. With a shirt that's just as wet as the ball. Futile. As futile as seeking meaning in a cold, empty universe. Then you knew doubt. Not fear, doubt. A kicker can't lose a game, but he can win it. He can. You could. But you didn't. He were never the same again.
The Leeds players' victory was hollow, but it was a victory. Leeds didn't win it though. Wakefield lost it.
Wakefield lost it. Not you, Don. Not you. You were man of the match. David Coleman told you so. Is it a consolation, he asked. They had to reshoot that interview because your answer said it all. The lads, your mates, you felt you'd let them down.
BBC show that kick. Again and again. And again and again and again. Those metropolitan soft southern public school bastards. Again and again. Oh, the poor lad. That joker's words, kindly meant perhaps. Again and again and again. The poor lad. Television had you back the next week and had you kick the goal in carpet slippers. They put it on an advert. It's still in the top 10 greatest mistakes in sport. You are globally known for a huge mistake. You can't get away from it. No one mentions the penalty try given by Ebblethwaite, or that you were man of the match. Nobody.
You got what so many men want, but it meant nothing. Man of the match makes last minute try but misses goal. A cruel trick of the universe, the cold, absurd universe. Well, it did you in.
It didn't do him in. He was 72 when he died. That's 40 years later.
Well, they say he was never the same again.
His son doesn't.
Look, he was depressed. That moment, the miss, the treatment he got in the media, all the exposure, it told.
Do you think? Some folks say he was used to it, and he used to laugh about it. And nobody who mattered blamed him. They knew. If it hadn't been for him, they wouldn't have even been close.
If it hadn't been for that referee, you mean?
Look, it was a bad decision. Refs are human.
The referee took his own life. Some said it was guilt.
Some said it was shame.
And some said it were naught to do with rugby. He'd lost his wife. He was depressed as well.
Both of them depressed, and both had been at the same game. The game were cursed. It was the 68th minute of the 68th final in 1968. And don't forget that the commentator also ended his days in a hospital. He also had his mental health issues.
So you believe that these three men were so profoundly depressed by this one game of rugby that they all went mad and died? Like some Greek tragedy? Those that the gods wish to destroy first send mad?
Well, send them down to London anyway.
Bollocks.
Bollocks?
Aye, bollocks. There's no causality like that. People have mental health difficulties because the world's a confusing and terrible place sometimes. Those three were all at the top of their game. They'd won and lost. They'd been right and wrong. And they'd seen tragedy and triumph.
The Wakefield committee didn't see it that way. An act of a cruel universe. They made comments.
In the press.
They made adverse comments in the press about the referee's performance.
It went to the Rugby League committee.
Mr. Hebblethwaite had to complain.
It's just a game. You shouldn't play if you can't lose with dignity.
It was not just a game. It is not just a game. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for the elusive nature of glory, seeking that bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. It's like Shakespeare. But in a rugby match, you can tell what they're trying to do.
Aye, they wear shirts with numbers.
So you know who the characters are?
As flies are to wanton boys, we are to the gods. They kill us for their sport.
Now you keep going on about this being biblical. Do you mean that, like, within it, you can see the hand of God?
Ah, you mean a bit like Maradona, but in reverse? God intervened and made Don miss? Or that the pitch was flooded because God did not want the match to go on?
Well, maybe it proves that there is no God. But we can't take that. We find it hard to live with the consciousness that the universe is meaningless and empty. And with the final insult that the BBC remember, recall and replay one moment over and over and over again. And it isn't even the right moments.
Maybe it means that men put too much focus on sport because it's easier to deal with than things that really matter.
No, I don't think so.
One of the banners as the Wakefield team came home back to Wakefield, it said, "Send the ref to Vietnam."
It's funny that. Topical.
Funny and topical. People can laugh, and they did. Of course they did. If you didn't laugh, cry.
Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Trin.
Good afternoon, and how can I help you, Mrs. Hepplethwaite? Is it the old problem? Still feeling down? Well, you've been on the same tablets for a number of years now. It's probably time we change the strength. We have some new ones here, and I can recommend those.
I don't know, Doctor. Seems a long time to be down with the baby blues.
These problems can last a very long time. Modern medicine has made a lot of progress. There's no need to suffer these days. Modern science has an answer for most illnesses.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I should be happy, but I'm not. It all seems too much.
You need to be more specific than that. What is making you feel so blue?
Well, I keep thinking about the bomb. That we could all be vaporised. And then I think, well, would it be so bad? Would it be so bad if we were all turned to dust in a flash?
Well, there's not a lot we can do about that, is there? Let's try not to think about it.
I feel trapped. In my own house. In my head. In my marriage.
Matrimonial problems are there. Often a woman's expectations are too high.
I don't mean that. My husband loves me. He tries to give me what I want. He loves me, I think. I'm just not fulfilled. Should a woman just live through her husband? Isn't there anything else? Sometimes I think I know what I want, but he's doing all living. And sometimes I feel, I don't know what I feel.
A lot of women just don't know how lucky they are. Don't appreciate how much better off they are than the mothers were. Look, count your blessings. I'm going to write you out a prescription for these tablets. They should lift your mood.
I sometimes just want to disappear.
Well, you can't do that, can you? You've got a husband and children. You have them to support. If you feel like this in a month, then book another appointment. Good afternoon, Mrs. Hepplethwaite.
Good afternoon, Doctor. I just don't know why. There are days when I just want to disappear. The doctor gave me some tablets and he said they'd take edge off. Take the edge off, that sounds good, doesn't it? kind of smudge things so the lines aren't as sharp. When you watch somebody drawing, they rub away at the edges so they aren't so sharp. I want that. Sometimes I want to rub myself out, to disappear. The tablets do that. But I still feel things are so bad. I want to go to bed and not wake up. Everyone would be better off without me. It'd save bother. He'd be free, and I'd be free. It'd be like a line, then a smudge, a grey mark on grey paper, like a mist, like a memory, like drifting off. He has what he wants, children, a career, a hobby. I realise I can't be happy for him. I can't be happy for anyone. Not him, not the kids, not anyone. What kind of a person am I? Not a good person, a bad person, a mistake. I want to rub myself out. Rub until I'm just a faint mark. Then, there you are, on the stair, crouching, door closed, cornered, trying to be insignificant. Your swirling vapour sucking in as it's black as night. Smack! Smack! Something's dead. What's dead? Shut down, switched off. Chest implosion, bleeding in that monkey choking, silent, throat-tight throttle. It fights to be free. But you know what? That deceiver, it's me.
Gentlemen, welcome to the Referees Association's annual dinner. It has been an unprecedented year for us, a year in which, despite all your hard work, we, as a group, have been put under unwarranted pressure. Most notably, we were disgusted that the Wakefield Trinity Board made public criticism of our brother referee, Mr. Hebblethwaite. We have written to the Rugby League expressing our concern about Wakefield Trinity's actions and requesting disciplinary action. The referee doesn't do his job to become famous. He does it for the love of the game, to make sure that the games go ahead fairly. With the fee of £10 or a blazer badge, the referee is certainly not pursuing riches, and it certainly isn't in the pursuit of fame. I mean, who remembers the referee?
Who remembers the referee? At least 40,000 Wakefield fans, plus those at home watching, and all the generations down the years. That is who remembers the referee, and they don't remember him as the poor lad.
We didn't come to watch you, referee, we shout. We came to watch the rugby.
Get it right and nobody ever remembers. Get it wrong, nobody ever forgets.
A referee must have no doubts. The referee can let the game flow or apply all the rules. The referee's decision is final and must be respected. The man in the middle is the man with the whistle. Let the player go on or pull the player back. It must be the referee's decision. And he can have no doubt and show no weakness. The referee awarded a penalty to Wakefield when they were in the clear, but he called it as he saw it. But he must have no doubts. The referee can have no doubts. No doubts until he finds his wife, the woman he loved, the woman he lived with her head in the gas oven. Her pain had been so great, she saved up her pills and then took them. Took them all at once. Put her head in the oven.
He had been an instrument maker. Precise, skilled, exact. He saw everything clearly, down to the 100th of a millimetre. He saw that she was in pain, but he could do nothing about it. There was no rule book to apply to marriage. Sometimes there is doubt. Sometimes there is only doubt.
Seeing her in pain at home whilst he had been given such a honour, such prestige, he couldn't take her pain away. He couldn't stop living just because she was in too much pain. He had to grin and bear it. He had to carry on.
Was she proud of what he'd done? Did she understand the prestige, the responsibility? If she did, she didn't show it. She did not let him know how proud she was of him. She could not or would not show that she appreciated what a successful man her husband was. All we know of her is she was in pain. And she took it away. She took it away. She spoiled the party.
What did he want? A round of applause?
Well, it would have been nice.
He took that badge. The Blazer badge for the Cup Final 1968. He took the badge so that at Referee Association meals he would look fine. People would know that he had reffed that final. £10. £10 was a week's wage. £10 for a lifetime's infamy.
It's not only a game.
David Hinchliff, former social worker and MP for Wakefield, your specialist subject is the so-called Watersplash Final of 1968. You have 30 seconds to answer as many questions as you can, starting now. What has control over a rugby league match?
A referee.
Correct. What is a scapegoat?
A scapegoat is a person or an animal who takes on the sins of others or who is unfairly blamed for problems.
What is the fee paid to the referee at Wembley in 1968?
£10 or a Blazer badge.
Finally, what was the name of the official in the 1968 Cup Final who cheated Wakefield out of the cup and robbed you of your youth?
I used to know this. I used to know this one. I used to know that it was the referee.
Well, is that your answer? I have to hurry you. What was the name of the official in the 1968 Cup Final who cheated Wakefield out of the cup and robbed you, David Hinchliff, of your youth?
I don't know. Pass.
When a referee is on the pitch, he's not seen as a human being, but of course it doesn't stop him being a person. He's a person all the time, good and bad, on and off the pitch.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Good afternoon, and how may I help, Mr. Hebblethwaite?
Oh, it's my wife. She killed herself. She took an overdose of the tablets that you gave her.
Yes, I was very, very sorry to hear about that.
Sorry? That won't bring her back, will it?
I don't think I understand what you mean.
I mean, it was your decision to prescribe what you did. You made a bad decision.
Look, I make hundreds of decisions every day. Every day of my life I have to make life-altering decisions. I have to decide quickly and stand by my decision. I can't hesitate or show doubt. I can't let people know the doubts that I have. I have to live with my mistakes.
And your patients sometimes die because of those mistakes. But you don't get blamed for it all your life. You're not made a scapegoat. People accept that you're human. But me, the referee, oh no. No, I have to live with the knowledge that I am blamed. I'm not a good enough referee. I'm not a good enough husband. Not a good enough father.
Mr. Hebblethwaite, I really am very, very sorry for your loss. You must feel terrible. But you cannot blame yourself for it. She was a very poorly woman.
I don't blame myself. I blame you. You prescribed the tablets.
I prescribed the tablets in good faith because she was depressed. It was the depression that killed her.
Oh, was she depressed because of me? Did I let her down?
It doesn't work like that. Things got too much for her. She couldn't keep a sense of perspective.
And you have no doubt. It wasn't you. It wasn't me. It was...
It was sad. It was unfortunate. She made a bad decision.
She made a bad decision?
Even Eddie Waring, often imitated, often insulted, but always recognisable, was a man, and so as vulnerable as you or I. He ended up spending time in a psychiatric hospital near Leeds.
Good afternoon. How can I help you, Mr. Waring? And how are you doing here at Hyroids?
Well, thank you for asking. And it's a lovely hospital where a man can see out his days away from the media attention.
And how are you?
Well. I've had a very successful career, and I was much loved, and I was much hated. You might say that I was a national institution. Funny to think that I was an institution and now I'm in an institution.
And tell me, Eddie, why do you think you're here?
I used to be famous for saying up and under, and now I'm down and under the doctor.
But why are you under the doctor?
There's no doubt about that. I killed a man.
Killed a man?
Yes, in 1968, I killed a man.
You killed him? Are you sure?
Yes, I killed Don Fox. I didn't mean to do it, but I did. I made my reputation and killed him. I didn't mean to do it, but I did.
Don Fox was a Lance Trophy winner, man of the match. He lived until he was 72. You didn't kill him.
Well, he missed it. Oh, the poor lad. His mum won't be buying him any turkeys at Christmas anymore.
I'm afraid, Mr. Waring, there is no improvement. You need to return to the hospital.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing, and referees have to make decisions.
The forecast was good. The pitch was firm. When the rain came down, it just stayed on the surface. Ground staff did a good job trying to clear it, but all to no avail. The referee has the responsibility to decide whether the game can be played.
Looks a little bit damp out there, Hebblethwaite. I hope your boys aren't going to spoil my turf.
My first concern is the safety of the players.
Oh, for goodness sake, please tell me that you're not considering calling the match off on health and safety grounds.
Has anyone got a spare pair of size 9s in black? And some socks? The Duke has got very sensitive feet.
Sensitive feet? You don't seem to be aware how serious the condition of the pitch is.
It is serious. If you think you can cancel the centrepiece of our Saturday afternoon television. I can tell you now, this match must go ahead, or there will be consequences.
I hope you're not trying to exert undue influence on me. The referee may seek advice, but he cannot tolerate any sense of intimidation.
I'm trying to influence you, so that you don't make a decision you live to regret. This game of yours is only played on the M62 corridor, and since the M62 will not be built for a number of years, well, this is a big problem for the sport.
The Palace will take it very badly. If the Duke has been dragged down here for nothing and learnt some of the rules.
I don't think you'll get another available weekend at Wembley if you cancel. What about all those fans? I certainly wouldn't want to be the man who spoils everyone's big weekend away in the capital.
I have to make a decision before the game can start. And if I get it wrong, 87,000 people are going to hate me. But if conditions deteriorate, I fear a player might be drowned.
When you are old, you long to be a child, and when you're a child, you ache to be an adult. I wonder what those kids who grew up to be the legendary Fox brothers were like.
What we laking? Well, rugby, of course. Wickham Lake attack and defence.
Here, this ball's no good.
But it's better than Daz.
I ain't got one.
Well, there you are then.
Ball's all right, let's get on with it.
Aye, but look, it's not up to standard, is it? Standard rugby ball has to be approximately 11 inches in length and 24 inches in circumference at its widest point.
Bloody hell. Has that swallowed the bloody dictionary, Poindexter?
Where the bloody hell did this kid come from? It wants Charleston, that's for sure.
Ah, you don't come from village, and that's for sure. Listen to the way he talks. He's ever so posh.
Can't tell how I talk, can I? I'm from York, aren't I?
What's the name?
It's bloody Poindexter, that's what it is. They ought to hear him in maths class, he's very clever.
Well, my dad says in maths it's all about knowing the rules.
Well, does they know the rules to rugby?
Aye, smart Alec. That's not in maths class now.
Leave him alone and let's get on with game. I'm Don. I like to lake at scrum half, but I'll play anywhere. When I grow up, I'll win the Lantos Trophy at Wembley.
I'm Peter. I just like to play. When I grow up, I'll coach Great Britain to a test victory in Australia.
And I'm Neil. I'm happy at centre. I'll go on to World Rugby League highest point scorer.
I'm Johnny Bulthwaite, and when I grow up, I want to be referee at Wembley.
What?
A bloody referee?
A bloody referee? Well, that caps all.
That's pillicking.
No, my dad says you can't play a game without a referee. You need somebody who knows all rules so that game can be played.
Well, the rules here are that referees are cheating pillock, and wanting to be a ref's like wanting to be a soddy teacher or a boss.
Seriously, I'd best get back to this end. Reckon I wants to be a nooker or something.
They'd be better off wanting to be a leper, like in scripture classes, than a bloody referee.
Well, can I be hooker as well as referee then?
Oh, go on then, out, so I can get on with it.
Pass it here. Now, kick it through.
Oh, hard luck.
Go on, go through, Gap. Go on. Tackle! Great tackle. Where the bloody hell did he get that from? He's got no ball, but he's got a bloody whistle.
Here, let's have less swearing. I'm referee now, so you can show a bit of respect.
Yeah, but what are you blowing your bloody whistle for?
Sir?
You what?
When you're talking to referee, you're supposed to call him sir.
Oh, what did you blow your bloody whistle for, sir?
Penalty try.
What? Penalty? Never.
Sir?
I'll bloody sir you. You'll be farting whistles when I've made you eat the bloody thing.
There was an obstruction in the movement which prevented attacker from touching down. In my judgment, a try was certain if it weren't for the deliberate obstruction. So, it's a try. Kick to be taken in front at posts.
You bloody little pillock! I'll penalty try you!
Calm down, it don't matter. It's only a game. Don't worry, I've an idea how we can win.
But Mum's called us in for tea. We've only got a couple of minutes.
Don't worry, you'll see.
So with the pitch wet through, John Fox sets up the kick. There are only a few seconds left of this remarkable final. The teams line up for what will be the final play of the match. The Leeds fans are celebrating behind the posts. Wakey had missed out on their dreams of a double. The teams are ready. Set for the kick to the right. John Fox approaches the ball and he kicks it to the left. He kicks it, he's fooled everybody except Ken Hirst, who hacks it on. It's a planned move. I don't think anybody expected this. Hirst dives through beneath the post, that's it. Wakefield have only got to kick the goal and the game is theirs.
What a match. Surely this is it. What a final twist. All I have to do now is kick the goal and win the cup.
Neil, Peter, Don, come on, it's tea time, I'll not tell you again.
But Mum, we've just the final kick to decide winner.
Come in for your tea, there's no need for there to be a winner.
But what's the point in playing if there's no winner?
Well, if there's a winner, there has to be a loser, and that spoils it for them. Just enjoy the game, enjoy playing and being together and having some fun.
God, we'd have had time to finish if Poindexter here hadn't held us up with all his chelping. Given that bloody penalty try.
Less of your bad language and stop blaming people. You couldn't have played if you hadn't have made the numbers up. Don't start crying about it now and come in for your dinner.
I cried. I did. I cried every time I thought about that match. And do you know what?
What?
Well, I arrived at match steaming drunk. I hadn't slept for 2 days. My memory probably wasn't at its best. And yet I knew that I was cheated. We were cheated. Wakefield had been cheated.
Cheated out of what?
Everything. It all went. Everything went. And there was nothing I could do about it. Things have gone from bad to worse. I've got older. Music's got worse. Mates I had, well, they've turned into old men.
What, all because of this game?
Maybe because of the game. You see, I knew we'd been robbed and that no one would tell the story right. So I tracked them people down and I listened to them. I listened to them and I watched and rewatched that game. I watched it and I researched it. Now I'm not sure. I lost my faith in justice at that game, and now I've lost my faith in my understanding of it. My history, our history, all I've got is doubt.
Doubt about what? A penalty try that should never have been given.
That try shouldn't have been given. But I do doubt that the ref deliberately cheated us. And even that ain't the point. Think about it. Don Fox did everything to make it so Wakefield would win the cup. And he's remembered as the man who made them lose.
Remembered by whom?
Well, by everybody.
Not everyone. Most people don't even know what happened.
But they see it every year.
It's on, but they don't see it.
How do you mean?
It's wallpaper. Televisual wallpaper.
Don't say that.
Why not?
Well, because if you say that people don't see this, they don't care, then what you're saying is nothing means anything.
The central players are dead. The rest is silence.
Is that Hamlet?
No, that's Hamlet. Happiness is a cigar called Hamlet. Mild brand.
I never liked them.
You're Hamlet, if anyone.
Me?
You. You were disturbed by the ghosts of glories past, of a fallen hero. You are Hamlet, trying to make sense of where things are and re-establish order.
I never wanted to be a king. I wanted to be Don Fox.
Exactly. You imagined you were Don. You identified with your hero and you cannot stand the idea that you failed. You're looking to revive him. Revive Wakefield. Revive a fairer world played out for 80 minutes on a dry pitch.
Look, he should have been remembered for what he was. A sporting superstar from Charleston.
And the referee?
Well, I suppose he was a bloke. He was just doing his best.
But was he corrupt?
I'm not sure.
Did it affect Don Fox so badly?
I don't know.
Was it the match that affected the ref?
I don't know.
Is that how depression works?
I don't know.
Aren't there bigger things to worry about?
I don't know.
Are you remembering this right?
I don't know.
Is it you that needs the doctor?
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I still bloody hate Leeds.
Walked on Water was performed by the Red Shed Players, who are Peter Hirst, Harry Thacker, Amanda Violet, Dave Hanvey, Alan Dale, Steve Oxley, Sander Hutchinson, Steve Wiltshire, Gwyneth Cullen and Jackie Burton. Also thanks to Steve Ball, who played Eddie Waring, and special thanks to Brian Lockwood, a real rugby player who played Don Fox, and Mark Pedler, who played the Doctor in the live performances. The music was written and performed by Adrian Bond and Ken Riddle. The play was recorded and engineered by Dave Hanvey. Walked on Water was a Red Shed Players production.